Hi there, interior design lovers. Welcome back to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, the podcast where we blend design inspiration with all behind the scenes tips and tricks you need to thrive in your business. I'm your host, Laura Thornton, and with over 27 years in this interior design game and running a 7-figure design company, trust me, I've seen it all. I want to be your interior design bestie. I want to help you build the business of your dreams, make more money, and yes, ditch the stress along the way. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I'm sharing my knowledge with all of you, my fellow designers and decorators. All I ask in return is that you like, review, and follow this podcast wherever you listen, so other designers can find us and learn more too. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into making 2025 your best business year yet. Hello, designers. Welcome back to another episode of the Business of Beautiful Spaces. I am super excited about today's jam-packed episode. It is all about my top business books of 2025 and the podcasts that kept me inspired. And we are going to go full CEO today with a sprinkle of fun and a little cheer and a whole lot of actionable strategy. You know, that's my favorite thing. So grab your notebook, grab your favorite drink, and let's dive in. All right. So before I get to the list, let me tell you something. These books didn't just inspire me. They changed the way I operate as a CEO. And I always kind of call it she-EO around here, like the she-EO, she-EO, feminine, woo. So here's why I chose these, because they changed the way I think, how I market, how I sell, how I lead, and how I structure my business. So these are why they made the list, and they resonate. Like I can't stop thinking about them. And I'm going to dive deeper into each one and why I love it and how I've used it. So, and hopefully you'll love them too, and you'll get a little debrief. And I have no affiliation with any of these, obviously. So each of these books became a framework that I end up using daily in different ways. And now you'll get to use them too, but with a twist, because I am going to show you how to plug into this wisdom with AI, and it'll also become a tool that you can use every single day. So let's get started. Okay, the first book. This is a big one. This is the biggest one. This is the one. I know you're supposed to start at the bottom and work your way to the top. But if you don't get to the end of this podcast, I want you to know about this book. So it's Building a Brand Story. There's 2 versions of it. It's by Donald Miller. One is just an updated version. And as most of you know, if you listen, I do belong to an organization for entrepreneurs. And when we do get together and have like learning days and events, and we have like fireside chats, and there's people that come who talk, everybody talks about this book. So I knew that I had to read this book, and I knew that it was going to be a game changer. And I already listened to his podcast. Like Donald Miller has a podcast, which again is of course going to be on my top podcast. So you can start even just listening to him if you don't have time yet to read this book. But I'm starting with this book because if you want your brand to stand out in 2026, the StoryBrand is the single clearest framework that I can recommend. Because marketing is like a hat that I hate. I hate wearing that marketing hat. I find it endless and fruitless. And I finally gave up, and I'm paying somebody to do it now. So I find marketing noisy, but this is different. So customers are very distracted with all the noise as well, right? So designers often over-explain what we do, and clients walk away overwhelmed. I know I was guilty of it. I can see them. I don't understand. What's the difference between those and that? And I'd be like over-explaining my way to confusion. But StoryBrand solves this. So here's the magic in one sentence. Make your client the hero, and you are the guide. That's it. You stop talking. You stop talking about process. You stop talking about my years of experience, my aesthetic, and you start talking about what your client wants, what problem they have, how you guide them to success, and what their life looks like after working with you. Simple, clear, powerful. Bam. I'm going to clap. Oh, that was a terrible clap. Clap. Okay. On why this matters for interior designers. Okay, because clients don't feel like they're buying design services. They feel like they're buying a feeling and living in a home that finally reflects who they are. And StoryBrand helps you say that. It helps you apply it to right now, meaning like rewrite your homepage, rewrite your Instagram bio, rewrite your service page, and rewrite your discovery call script. Pairing StoryBrand with AI. This is how I've done it. So I'm going to give you a little debrief. This is where it gets exciting. Okay. So I have a subscription to something called Blinkist, and Blinkist is a app where they have taken business books and they will summarize them for you. So you can listen in the car, and they create blinks, like chapters almost, right? So they're short form, condensed. We had Coles notes. I don't know if everybody has Coles notes. Coles notes, Coles. And it was basically like if you had to read Macbeth in grade 10, you got the Coles notes version so you could understand Shakespeare's language. It's kind of like that, but for business books. So you can get a subscription to Blinkist if you want. And I know you're rolling your eyes at me saying, Laura, you're always telling us to like stop buying subscriptions, which is true. I happen to get mine free of charge because I belong to this entrepreneurship organization, so they don't charge us for it. It's like a perk. So I can go in and read like a snip or a snap of the book. And then if I like the book, great, I can buy the book. But otherwise, they also have a summary. So I've taken the summary because I don't want to put in Donald Miller's information into AI chatbots, which I'm sure somebody else has done, but I feel like guilty about it. And then I make a chatbot. So I use ChatGPT. So in ChatGPT, I create its own chatbot, which is private because I own the subscription. So if you're thinking about doing this, you're going to want to make sure it's private. And my chatbots know all about my business. They know my brand voice. They know all the things that I want it to do. And you tell it that when you create the chatbot within ChatGPT. And mine is actually called TDI, Thornton Design Incorporated with TDIX, Donald Miller StoryBrand. And now that chatbot has been programmed and trained by me to upload all the things I want it to do, to apply his strategies to Thornton Design. So now I go in there and I will say, I am going to redo my welcome guide for 2026. Please apply StoryBrand. And here's my old one. And I upload the old PDF and revise it. And boop, boop, boop. That's how AI apparently sounds to me in my head. We'll make it happen. And of course, you're going to finesse that and you're going to make it sound more like you. But if you start programming your chatbot, it will start sounding like you way faster. But regardless, this is what I've done. And this is how I'm starting to apply it to the framework in our business for all of our marketing that we do. We do have other people that manage parts of the business for marketing, but the stuff that we do, now this becomes part of our framework, part of what we do here, so that I can keep using this as a tool. So TBD on how it's going to fan out in 2026. But you can ask it to rewrite your about page using the StoryBrand framework. You can write 3 Instagram captions that position me as the guide. You can draft a StoryBrand style elevator pitch for your Lux clients. Your AI becomes your personal message strategist. And that, my friends, is a game changer. So not only do you not really have to read the whole book if you don't want to, but you can also start applying it to your business today. So I did read the book. I actually have it as a thing to do I'm taking 2 weeks off over Christmas to New Year's, and I am reading this book again because now there's a 2.0 version, something that's he's re-brought it out. So I'm going to read it again because, again, as your business changes, you might want to apply this differently. And I always think, you never know, if I was in the pool distracted or something reading it, I would want to go back and read it again. So that's on my list of things to do before the year ends. Okay. That's my number 1 book. So again, I know I'm supposed to start the other way. This is my second book, and this was also a really good book and a really, really interesting read. The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. And it is a masterclass on focus. Chet Holmes teaches the power of what he calls pig-headed discipline. And I absolutely love this. Success comes from consistent action, not random bursts of energy. Now, if you're anything like me, I do have I'll be doing something and then I get distracted and then I can't get back to it. And so I have to work harder in 2026 of stop being derailed from my focus and what I'm doing. My most productive times of the day in the office is 7 to 9 before anyone gets here, and when everyone leaves at like 4:30. And that is terrible. We are open concept. We are very team-based. But I do get distracted. I'm pulled in many different directions. And my goal for 2026 is to knock that off and be able to focus more on what task I'm trying to do during that day. Now, I'm derailing, but I'm driven by Post-it notes. If only you could see the other side of this computer and all the Post-it notes. But I start off with a Post-it note with 3 things that have to get done every single day. I can't leave the office until those 3 things are done. And usually I'm getting them done beginning and at the end of the day and nothing in between. So that's my goal for 2026 is to knock that off. And this book is a great tool to go back and reread or to focus on. So, okay. The book focuses on 12 core areas: sales, marketing, personal productivity, training, team development, the Dream 100 clients, and more. So what I love for designers is the Dream 100 strategy. Identify your top 100 dream clients, collaborators, builders, um, realtors, architects, basically strategic partners, and nurture those relationships consistently in hopes of gaining that business. So you can also get updated insights from his daughter, who is now part of this book as well. Stronger digital strategies, core story framework, ROI focused checklist, a mindset chapter from Chet that honestly is worth the price of the entire book. Period. Now, how do you add AI strategy to this? The exact same way. So I uploaded it. I have a chat bot that's TDI times Chet Holmes, the ultimate sales machine. Uploaded all I could from Blinkist, but if you buy the book, you can upload it there as well. And it helped me create my Dream 100 outreach sequence. It helped rewrite my sales scripts. We role played difficult client conversations and how to navigate that. And now that's part of our scripts. So if anyone who comes in new to the office, they can read all of that. Help track your follow-ups, build sales training guide for our team. And then we go from winging it to I have a structured, repeatable sales machine. Okay. Very exciting one. This was really good too. And I follow this Daniel on Instagram too. So you can always follow him. He does this scorecard marketing. And this book is all about predictable lead generation, which wouldn't that be nice as interior designers to have predictable lead generation? But you can create a scoreboard. It's basically a quiz that he has that walks you through where your potential client answers will land you, meaning you get information about like warm leads versus buying signals versus segmentation, personalization. And designers, it's really gold. Like I know I'm not doing a great job in like the few minutes that I'm trying to summarize this, but you can do a quiz that's what's your interior design planning score, or what is your home renovation ready? Is your home renovation ready for a designer? And your scorecard can tell someone exactly where they are in your buying cycle. And now you can do the same thing with AI. You can upload this book to your AI chatbot, combo it with all of your business information. And now the chatbot can interpret your results. It can personalize the follow-up emails from the responses that you're getting from clients. You can suggest which offer they're ready for. You can write the quiz questions that you want to put on your website. And all of this is lead generation is now on autopilot. And these are things that are obviously a little harder to navigate if you aren't having access to your web designer constantly, but it's definitely a really good book to read. So those are awesome. Other ones that I have on my list for the coming year, because I just gave you my top 3, but I have a few that I bought, and if you are looking at this on like YouTube, you can see all the books behind me here. Okay, so the ones I have on my list, They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. Apparently it's about content strategy, that it's a must, and if a client asks it, you answer it, whether that's blogs, videos, social guides, and again, AI will help us produce that content to be consistent. I'm going to try and read Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rummelt. Oh, gosh, I hope I'm saying that right. Clear thinking equals clear business decisions. I would like to read The Sales Playbook by Jack Daly. It's about systems for selling, and The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. So these are things I've heard great things about, and I have them on my list for 2026. Okay, so now you've got books down. Let's talk about the podcasts, my top 5 business podcasts. Okay, so I already talked about StoryBrand and how I'm in love with StoryBrand and apparently in love with Donald Miller because I listen to him every week. So if I listened to, oddly enough, the podcast before I read the book, and I've always liked his podcast. I've been listening to it for a couple of years. And so I find it super, super easy and connected. Like you can really connect to what they're saying, and you can walk away with action items, usually weekly, of things that you can apply to your business. So the book and the podcast do go hand in hand. The weekly messaging is really clear. Practical strategies are amazing, and it's marketing gold. So take a listen to Donald Miller's The StoryBrand podcast. Okay. So one I've just recently started listening to in the last 5, 6 months is The Game by Alex Hormozy. And I do love his straight talk. I love his ability to just cut through the noise. And I have as I told you earlier, I love a sticky note. Well, on the left-hand side of my screen, I have a sticky note that sits here. And it reminds me every single day. And it's from him. It's a quote from him. And it says, "Every day, everywhere, all at once, your brand deserves it because they don't know who you are. You have to put hours in daily to market yourself and reach out to people." And I actually call it the Richard Branson time. I had my business coach is the one that introduced me to Richard Branson time. And when I come in every morning, I spend 30 minutes every single day, non-negotiable, on working to network my business. And that's what's called Richard Branson time. So apparently Richard Branson does this. I have no idea. I just heard this from my business coach, but that's what it's called. So I have the two sticky notes on the left-hand side of my screen. One says Richard Branson time, and the other one has this quote from Alex Hormozy, and basically saying they don't know who you are. So you've got to get out there and tell them that you exist. So it's a reminder every day, because I always say, no one's going to come find me sitting here at my desk every day. You have to be out trying to promote your business and yourself. So that's why I like him. And I started off trying to just promise myself 4 times a week minimum, and you got to do the 5. So if that's something, I know it's not, I'm derailing as I do, but something that to think about for 2026, just make sure people know you exist. So I think that's a real must for designers who want to grow their business. One I've been loving for a very long time is The Diary of a CEO with Stephen Bartlett. It's raw, it's human, it's deep. This is where you learn mindset, resilience, leadership, emotional intelligence. It's not just business. He talks about everything in life, and I find it super interesting in more ways than one. So it's not always business, which is good, because sometimes I do get a little like, okay, I kind of feel like I want to listen to something a little different. And I love all the different people that he has on. A new one this year is called Aspire by Emma Grande, and she started Spanx and Good American with the Kardashians. She is, first of all, lovely. She is gritty and has grace and is honest and has incredible conversations with brilliant-minded individuals, all entrepreneurs, about success and psychology and lifestyle and branding, and it's all rolled into one. But I really enjoy her podcast, and I love the female take on it, because as you can see, the other two are male. So I really like that one. So some other occasional ones that I do listen to, but not as regularly, are Founders. I still love Aspired, which is like a 4-hour long podcast. You need to be in the mood. You need to have as you know, I listen to everything on 2 times speed. So everybody's a chipmunk. And then sometimes I worry that I come into the office and I'm talking faster than I should. So, which really won't help you if you listen to it 2 times faster, because now I really will sound like a chipmunk. The First Million is also a really great podcast that I found this year. The Prof G Pod is also good. And I've started listening to A Big Deal by Cody Sanchez, and it's a hit miss for me. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, but I like it more than enough to put it in here. So okay, so my last one is my little guilty pleasure is true crime corner. I do love a true crime podcast. So I know it's not business, but I know some of you love true crime as much as I do. So yes, here's my list of things that I listened to this year that either had me gasping or I couldn't wait to get back in the car. Betrayal, The Sea of Lies, The Kill List, which was wild, like like blow your mind. Scamanda, which I think someone mentioned has now become like a Prime or one of the paid for apps documentary. The Con, Caitlin's Baby, and What Happened to Holly Bobo. All really good. All will keep you coming back. And if you haven't listened, just go grab your headphones and prepare to go down the rabbit hole. Okay, so I'm closing with some action steps, because I love a good action item. So, okay, here's your CEO homework. Choose one of the books from today's list. I really hope that you picked the Donald Miller one. No influence from me. Apply it in the next quarter. Like Q1, January, you got till the end of March. Let's apply some of these strategies from one of the books that you are going to read. Doesn't have to be mine. Whatever business book you're going to read, apply that strategy. Choose one podcast to follow consistently and let it fuel your mindset. And build a simple AI chatbot feed it your book notes, feed it your podcast or your brand script, whichever book, whatever podcast you're listening to. Create a sales process, create your client avatar, your values, your content pillars. This will give you a CEO tool that will work beside you every single day going into Q1. So if you've enjoyed today's episode, here's a few free ways to support the show. If you could leave us a 5-star rating or whatever rating you think that we deserve on any Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Tell us your favorite book or your podcast from today's list. I would love to know. And I love learning. So I would love to learn what you have found valuable and what you're applying to your business. And any longtime listeners, will you share your favorite episode so far? It really helps me plan for the next year. This helps more designers discover the show, and it truly means the world to me. So thank you for listening. Thank you for investing in yourself. And thank you for being part of the Business of Beautiful Spaces for Interior Designers community. Bye for now.